Live from the Dr. Jerry Henderson Radio Complex, it's time for Card Guys. And now, here's your host, Anthony Schulte.
Good morning. Thank you, Michael, for the intro as always, and welcome to Card Guys, Detroit Sports Talk, Season 4, Episode 13. Coming up today, we discuss the Pistons' historic win streak. We take a look at the Red Wings' comeback win, and we check in on Lakeland, Florida, where the Tigers are in the midst of their spring training. I'm Anthony Schulte, and joining me as always is my man, Ryan Donnelly.
Hope your Wednesday's going well, folks. Hope your week's going well. Classes are open for next year. I got all my classes scheduled. I hope if you are returning next year, you get your classes scheduled, because they'll fill up quick. Highly recommend you do it right now. But anyways, we have a great show. We got some winners, but we also got a loser on our hands. So we'll talk about that later on in the show.
Also right next to me, Mr. Michael Rosenkranz.
Good to be here on a Wednesday. It was a tough morning. Didn't want to get out of bed, but you know what? It's coming to do the show where we talk sports. It gets me going during the morning. So
there it is.
Got a great show today.
We do have a great show. Let's start off with our 3 stars. Michael, go ahead.
All right, so my third star, let's jump into the NHL. Let's go with Matt Rempe of the New York Rangers. He got another goal. It was a beautiful deflection, perfect screen that he had on the goalie that he was facing. And for Matt Rempe, that is his second goal of the year. So he's been looking to get productive early, and it's taken a while this season, but he's breaking that drought and getting another goal, so that was good to see. My second star is going to be Jason Tatum of the Boston Celtics. They won against the Raptors, 111-101. He had 19 points, 11 assists, 6 rebounds in 40 minutes, so a little bit of a smaller double-double for him, but certainly not too shabby at all. My first star is going to go to Jacoby Heddy of CMU men's basketball. 18 points, 11 rebounds, assists, and a steal. And the march to March continues on for Central Michigan. Didn't look too convincing last night, but got the win against Buffalo. That was a game that you had to win. So, just got to keep going on. A good performance from Jacoby Heddy. Those are my 3 stars.
Buffalo! Sorry, I had the golden opportunity to do that all game last night, but I didn't do it once.
Really?
I just thought of that now. Anyways.
And who the heck knew that Anquan Bolden's son was on a Buffalo?
He's the starting small forward for Buffalo.
That's insane.
Yeah, Anquan Bolden, a legendary NFL wide receiver. His son plays at Buffalo. Lions legend, yes.
Yes.
His son plays for Buffalo. That's crazy.
That is crazy.
Anyways, before I get into my 3 stars, I want to give a quick honorary star to future Naismith basketball first ballot Hall of Famer Diana Taurasi. Yesterday, she retired after 20 years in WNBA, first overall pick with the Phoenix Mercury. Since then, all-time leading scorer, all-time three-point shooter, second most games played, fourth most assists, 11-time WNBA All-Star, 3-time WNBA champion, 2009 WNBA MVP, and the most technical fouls in WNBA history. She's played with some greats like Breanna Stewart, Brittany Griner. She's played with some great players. So, congratulations, Diana. Can't wait to see what you do later on. You're definitely on my Mount Rushmore for WNBA players for sure, and I can't wait to see what you do in the future. Anyways, my 3 stars. My third star, I'm going with Kerry Bonds, Kerry Carpenter. Yesterday, against the blown lead against the Baltimore Orioles, he went 3 for 3. Enough said, 3 for 3. Lots of positives from the starters yesterday, which we'll talk about later on in the show, but he's one of the only positives from yesterday's game against the Baltimore Orioles. My second star, I'm going with Unc T. Tobias Harris.
Tobias.
Since the trade deadline, it feels like he hasn't missed a shot. I mean,
he's been phenomenal.
He's been great. Taking a look at his game against the Clippers on Monday, 20 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 69% from the field, 66% from the 3. Automatic he's been as of late. I mean, also, I want to backtrack to a game against the Spurs on Friday where he shot 80% from the field and the same three-point percentage and 66. So he's been, again, automatic as of late. We'll talk about it later on in the show. But Tobias Harris has been really good since the trade deadline. My first star, Simon Edvinsson of the Detroit Red Wings. 2 goals, one of them including a game winner and around the 4-minute mark in the third period. I didn't watch because I was doing homework, but Edvinsson, huge 2 points for the Red Wings. That's the second win in a row. We are now 2-1 since the Four Nations. We'll talk about it again. We'll talk about it later in the show. But for now, those are my 3 stars. Anthony?
All right, my 3 stars. We'll start off with star number 3, Riley Green. He had a home run in yesterday's contest against the Orioles. I saw a video of it on Twitter. It was a nice shot there by Riley. He was 2 for 2. He also had a walk in yesterday's contest. So, like you said, the starters were really getting things done for the Tigers, and then we blew the lead. But we'll talk about that later on. Second star, Luka Doncic against his former team, the Mavericks. 19 points, 15 rebounds, 12 assists, 4th triple-double of the season. I remember seeing a 3-point shot that he made to force a timeout for the Mavericks, and he turns around, he starts talking to the Mavericks bench. That was pretty cool. It was really an emotional game for Luka playing his former team. I'm pretty sure they still have to go back to Dallas, the Lakers.
I think so.
I think they do.
So that's going to be
that's
going to be something else, especially if Anthony Davis can be back by that time. So Luka Doncic is my second star. And my first star, it was between Asar Thompson and Cade Cunningham.
Dad.
And I'm going with Cade Cunningham.
I was going to say, I wonder who you went with.
Asar is a good shout, but Cade Cunningham in our 7th straight win, 32 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 steals on 4 of 9 3-point shooting, and he got to the line 12 times, which was actually very surprising given his whistle as of late. Not his best game from the field, shooting 9 for 22, but he got it done in the second half. He got it done in the fourth quarter when we needed him to the most to seal away the Los Angeles Clippers.
I think on Monday's show, I'm going to go back every show starting from now in this season to see how many times in a row have we picked Cade Cunningham as a star.
I mean, he's
playing at a high level. I mean, when he doesn't have a good game, that's when I won't pick him, but he's playing at a high level. So
Sorry, Dad.
He's one of the best players in Detroit sports. He's played at a high level, so he deserves to be a consistent star.
For sure.
All right, let's start off with the Red Wings, shall we?
Yeah,
okay.
why not?
Why not switch it up a little bit? Start off with the Detroit Red Wings. Yesterday, coming from behind, and you don't see this often with this Red Wings team, especially as of late. Down 2-0, early hole in the first period, and then you score 3 unanswered to finish off the game, winning 3-2 in Minnesota. Big win, especially going into these 2 games against Columbus. You get a really good 2 points. Going into these 2 games, you needed that win. That was a must win, and it was going to be a difficult win too if you could pull it off, and they pulled it off.
Yes, they did pull it off. Red Wings now at 66 points on the season, 30-22-6. They are still 2 points above the Columbus Blue Jackets, who sit right behind them in the wild card standings. They're 64 points, 28-2-8, so it's going to be a pretty even matchup going into these next 2 games against Columbus. Same thing, must-win games. Columbus is breathing down your neck, and they're going to show up to play. So you got to be ready to go. It was great to see the Red Wings come back and win yesterday and not have me lose my mind again, because I was starting to a little bit when the Wild was up 2-0. Because Monday's show, I gave it to you. I was angry. And I didn't want to see the Red Wings team go down like this again, and luckily they didn't. Edvinsson coming in clutch, Tarasenko getting his 8th on the power play. He's been in another drought, and unfortunately, guys, he hasn't really lived up to what fans have been looking to see from Vladdy. So I'm starting to wonder if this is really going to impact the trade deadline. And for those who may not have seen it, Ville Husso was traded to the Ducks. So that frees up a bit of cap space for the deadline, and it gives Stevie Y some options as to what he wants to do. What do you guys think that the Red Wings will do at the deadline?
Yeah, I think now that Kopp is gone, out for 4 to 6 months, they're going to go for a center. I think that's really the only thing you could do. I think, and plus you got cash from Anaheim. So now you have the cap space to go out and get a center. That's what I think that they should do. But I wouldn't be surprised if Tarasenko is gone. When's the deadline?
The deadline, I'm not even remember if I remember the date off the top of my head, but
March 7th.
March 7th, so Friday.
Okay. So I wouldn't be surprised if Tarasenko is gone next Friday. But I mean, piggybacking off what Michael said, huge 2 points, 66 points, 2 points ahead of Columbus. Second in a row. Tom McClellan's run a tight ship since that blown loss against Minnesota and Anaheim. So it's really good to see. Now these two games are huge for the standings, and I mean massive for the standings. Columbus, again, right on your tail. They're 2 points behind you. If they sweep you, you're number 2 in the wild card spot, or you're out, and now you got to dig your way out of a hole, and it doesn't get easier from here. So you got to win at least one against Columbus, and one of those games is at the Shoe, so that'll be cool. Well, I mean, the Shoe isn't cool at all. I hate Ohio State, but I mean, you got to win against Columbus. You need to. They're right on your tail, especially. This isn't the Pistons where they have a nice cushion with the 6th seed, but
Can't believe those words just came out of your mouth.
yeah,
Wow.
Crazy.
but the Red Wings, they don't have an easy cushion. While the Pistons seat is memory foam, the Red Wings seat is a bunch of spikes. So you got to make sure that you can stand up from the spikes and walk to the light, which is the wild card. So that's my analogy for the Red Wings. I mean, Edvinsson played his tail end off, as I mentioned in Stars. I mean, I didn't really watch because I was doing homework, but that's really my Red Wings analysis. I mean, we played really well. We got Columbus in the next 2 days. It doesn't get easier from here.
It doesn't. And I pulled up some players that are seemingly on the trade block, that are seemingly available for trade. A few centers that are on the list. Number one on the whole list is from the Islanders, Brock Nelson. He's on the trade block, according to BetMGM. He's the number one out of everybody, and he's a center. Another center that's available, Casey Middlestat. He's available. Another center is Ryan Donato.
Oh.
So there are a few centers that are seemingly on the trade block that are available if Stevie Y wants to go get them. What their price tag will be, I don't know. Do you want to give up a lot for a player like that, especially because Kopp is out? Who knows? But it's good to see that the Red Wings are putting together some wins before this really big stretch against Columbus, because you need to beat Columbus at least once or take them into overtime at least once. You need to escape these two games with at least a point.
2 to 3 points is the acceptable margin I would see for the Red Wings against this series against Columbus. 2 to 3. Obviously, if you go to overtime and if you win the one game and then you go to the other overtime with the other, you still got 3 points. That's still good. You're still ahead of Columbus, but I think what you said was right. You got to go to overtime with one.
Yeah, you have to at least go out with a point. If you go into both these games and lose both of them in regulation, that's not good for your playoff seeding. It makes that chair with the spikes on it. Now it's not even a chair. You don't even get a backrest anymore. It's just a piece of wood with spikes on it that you have to sit on. So you need to definitely come out of these two games with at least a point. Anything else on the Red Wings?
And more importantly, you need to be in control of your own destiny.
Yeah.
Last season, you were never in control of your own destiny when you started collapsing. And if you let Columbus win one of these games, or if you go winless, they own the tiebreaker on you. Mm-hmm. So if you want to try and get back into it, the most you could probably do is the second spot. So, yeah, these two games are extremely important. Another name that I've been seeing is Dylan Cozens, a center for, I think, Buffalo.
Buffalo.
Touching on Buffalo again, but he's been somewhat productive this season, so he could be another one, but I'd be intrigued at names like Donato and Brock Nelson, mm-hmm. So it's going to be interesting to see what Stevie Y does, but yeah, important stretch for the Red Wings coming up here.
I would not mind having Brock Nelson at all. I mean, 33 years of age. I mean, not too bad of stats. 17 goals, 20 assists. He has 37 points on the year. I wouldn't
He's
imagine
productive.
with his age. I wouldn't imagine you wouldn't have to give up that much for him. I think if you want to get a Brock Nelson, you'd have to give up. I don't really know, Tarasenko. Maybe like a guy like Christian Fisher. Maybe I'm not sure. A couple picks, but. You have to go after a center. It's no question. Copp's out. You got to get a center to fill the need, especially if you go, especially if you are losing games by the Utah game on the 6th. Got to go after a guy at the deadline. Absolutely. If you lose 3 straight or win 1 out of your last 3, got to go after a center. But if you win 3 straight against the Blue Jackets twice and the Hurricanes, then you should be okay, I think. Make a position change, but yeah, you got to go after a center after the deadline.
For sure. All right, so the Red Wings, they play tomorrow at 7 p.m. at the Pizza Oven against Columbus. Pretty big game. Let's talk about the Detroit Pistons, shall we?
Yeah.
All right, Detroit Pistons. They had a big game on Monday night against the Los Angeles Clippers, and they took home the win. I think it was 106-97.
That's correct.
That is correct. 106-97. A really, really scrappy game. Pistons really had to dig deep for that one. Second half of a back-to-back. The Clippers, they have great defense. They poked that ball away. And the Pistons still walk away with the W. That's 7 straight. And now that is sole possession of the biggest win streak since 2014-15. He took over that. So a lot of fun. This is a lot of fun. And, you know, me and Isaac Haffenden, friend of the show, were talking about it yesterday. It was like, remember last season where we were at this time? Mm-hmm. You know, I was having mental breakdowns on the show. And now we're here, and we're having fun. We're winning 7 straight. Instead of losing a bunch of games straight, we're winning a bunch of games straight. We're in the 6th seed. We're closer to the 4th seed than we are the 7th seed as a 6th seed. This has been a lot of fun. Cade Cunningham's been playing at an all-star level. He's been playing at an MVP level. He has. George Blaha said he wants to see Cade get some MVP votes. You know, you got JB Bickerstaff. Cade's calling for him to be Coach of the Year. You know, this team is well coached, it's well ran, and you know I have to give my props to Tom Gores. Never thought I'd say that, but I have to give my props to Tom Gores because he realized his mistake, which was hiring Monty Williams. He ate the money, brought in Trajan Langdon, let Trajan do all the work. Trajan brings in JB, Malik, Tobias, Tim, and look at what's going on right now. I got to give props to Tom Gores. Because he did what he had to do. He swallowed his pride. He swallowed his pocketbook, and
he actually gave a damn about the basketball team.
He did.
Exactly.
He did. And you know what? I have to give my props to that because if we still Monty Williams is one of the worst coaches of all time when it comes to the Detroit Pistons. Mm-hmm. One of the worst. Look, this team's barely changed. He had a few veterans. That's it. And look how much better we're playing. Monty Williams sucks. He sucks.
Enough said. I mean, like you said, this roster didn't even really change at all. Like,
other than a few spacing items.
Yeah, and adding a lot of veterans. This team needed veterans, people, and a good coach. And Trajan got those guys, and look at where we are now. Like I said in the Red Wings segment, the Pistons, their cushion is a memory foam mattress. The Pistons now are 4 games ahead of the Magic. And I think a game or 2 behind the Bucks. The Bucks lost.
We're a game behind the Bucks.
A game behind the Bucks. The Bucks lost yesterday to the Rockets, and the Magic lost. I think Monday or Yesterday.
Yesterday.
They lost yesterday.
They lost to the Cavs.
Yeah, so they lost. So now we have a good sole possession of 6th place. All we got to do now is just wait and rely Milwaukee. To just keep losing. I mean, again, Giannis is still out. You got to take advantage of how long Giannis is going to be out for.
Giannis played yesterday.
He did?
Yeah.
I thought he was out for like a month.
No, I was watching the game yesterday, and Giannis was playing.
Oh.
Unless I was seeing things, which is possible.
Maybe. I mean, I I saw a report that Giannis was going to be out for an extended period.
No, I saw that he was playing it. Hold on, I could check. We have this wonderful app called Reel.
Fact checking at the beautiful time.
Yes, Giannis did play.
Okay, he did. Never mind.
Yeah, he hasn't been out since February 12th.
Oh, I thought he was out.
No.
Oh. Well, apologies for terrible journalism. Now it kind of gets tough. Now Giannis is back.
They lost Bobby Portis. Maybe you're getting those two confused.
Yeah, I might.
Bobby Portis is out for 25 games.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, Bobby Portis is still important to that Bucks team.
He is.
Probably
He's
one of the
very
best
important.
role players in basketball.
Yeah.
But, I mean, take advantage of what you have right now because you're never going to see a team like this. I mean, it's only going to get better from now. But you'll always remember your first. And this is a very important team.
This is a special season.
This is the best basketball team I have seen since the 2021 Michigan team when we won the Big Ten and we were the first seed in the Big Ten. This is the best basketball team I've seen before I had a driver's license. Like, this team is special. It really is. Didn't even change. This is what happens when you have an owner that cares.
He cares. I mean, as much
crap as
Yeah.
we gave him last year, he actually cares about the team. He's like you said, he swallowed his mistake, he swallowed his pride, and he actually gave a damn about his basketball team. And look at what happened: 6th seed in the East, most likely probably gonna stay that way for the rest of the year.
if we keep it.
The problem is, it only took him 13 years to figure it out.
Yeah,
I mean, compared to last season makes this season way more special. 14 wins. We now have more wins this season than last season and the season prior to last season combined. Mm-hmm. We still have, what is it, like 23 games left?
Yeah, right
23 or
now
24
you
games left?
have a record through
2,
58
4,
games.
6, 8, 10,
So-
12,
So 24.
14, 16,
24
18,
games.
20, 24.
So we have 24 games left of this season. We already have more wins than the last two seasons combined. This team's playing at a high level. It's special what we're watching. I hate saying it, but are we due for a loss?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are.
I think tonight's the night.
Tonight's going to be a tough game against the Celtics aren't a back-to-back, though, on the road. Celtics played last night in Toronto, in a different country. And now they're coming into Detroit. Look, back-to-back. Take advantage of the Celtics being tired, maybe. I could see us. We almost beat the Celtics earlier this season. It's possible.
Yeah,
So-
you're going to have to take advantage.
And honestly, look at this. ESPN is favoring us. We have a 54% chance to win here.
Wow. The spread, though, is Boston by 4.5.
Yeah, but our money line's only plus 150, so
Who knows? Maybe they know something that we
Vegas
don't.
is saying that it's going to be a close game.
Like we say this all the time, Vegas always knows.
Vegas does
Yep.
always know.
ESPN
Celtics
has
are banged up, too. Holy
Yeah.
crap.
Yeah. Porzingis
Porzingis is out.
Horford and Holiday.
Drew Peterson is out. Al Horford's out. Drew Holiday's out. And Luke Cornett is out. That's massive.
Well, it says their estimated return date is today. So we'll see. I mean, we'll see.
They'll probably be GTDs.
We'll see what happens there. But the Pistons got a big game tonight. I mean, can't take the Celtics lightly. They have an incredible record this season. They almost lost to Toronto yesterday, though. So who knows what can happen? Pistons have been shocking everybody. So I hope we win tonight. I really do.
Yeah, Boston.
Sorry, Ryan.
No,
go
you're
ahead.
good. Boston, I mean, I think outside of Cleveland, they're one of the most complete teams in basketball. They have a great bench. They have a great starting lineup. You do not take this lineup series, or you do not take this lineup lightly at all. It's going to be tough. I mean, you've won 7 straight, which is awesome. You could win 8 straight for the first time since 2008, which would be amazing. But I mean, lots of stuff is on the line, but you can afford a loss. I mean, you have such a nice cushion.
And losses are going to come.
Yeah, the losses are going to
It's
come.
not like we're winning every single game.
And
for the rest
even
of
if
the
we
year.
do lose tonight, it won't be that big of a deal because we have such a big cushion with the Magic. But I think if we lose, I won't be mad at all. I mean, I told this to Anthony on Monday. A year ago, we were holding up 5s because we got to 5 wins on the year. And now we're holding up 7s because we won 7 in a row.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is a very special time in Detroit sports because all 4 teams are dominating, but the Pistons feel the most special.
They do.
And I'm excited to see how this team's going to do for the rest of the year.
Michael, real quick before we move on.
Yeah, so great points. Huge game tonight. You still got to set the expectation of trying to go and beat the best of the best teams. These are the teams you're going to have to play in terms of the playoffs. So you could almost treat this as a playoff game.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You could almost treat this as a playoff game. Celtics have a phenomenal record on the road. They're 24-6 on the road.
Yeah.
So they know what it takes to win on the road. They're a very good team on the road. So you've got to go into LCA tonight and defend home court. You know, you're riding high off a 7-game winning streak. Everything's pointing up for this Pistons team. And you just got to keep going. The Celtics are banged up, but all 5 of those players could return as early as today. So, got to find ways to contain Tatum at most, and I mean, they just have so many good playmakers.
They do.
It's going to be tough to contain one person, but you got to come out with a fast start, and you just got to keep trudging ahead as much as you can. It's awesome what the Pistons are doing, and just got to keep going on.
Keep going on. So the Pistons, they play tonight, 7 o'clock at Little Caesars Arena against the Boston Celtics. All right, coming up after this break, we have the Detroit Tigers. We're also going to talk WWE Elimination Chamber, which is on Saturday. Yes, we are. So we're going to talk Tigers. We're going to talk Elimination Chamber coming up after the break. You're watching Card Guys Detroit Sports Talk. We'll be back right after this. Sports cards, signed jerseys, signed helmets, and more. Miller's Sports Cards and Collectibles is your one-stop shop for all things the hobby. Make sure to check them out down Mission Street in Mount Pleasant, right past Meyer. Miller's Sports Cards and Collectibles. Card Guys, Detroit Sports Talk. Join Michael Rosenkranz,
Sports take precedence over academics.
I agree, but
Ryan Donnelly,
Corbin Burns, who is their big-ticket J13 item. Scooble is with us. Scooble's our big-ticket
Did
J1.
you just call Tarek Scooble James?
And Anthony Schulte.
I have an issue.
You have.
There is no break. It's a constant grind. It's an unbreakable cycle.
Yeah, it's...
As they navigate through the Detroit sports landscape. Live Mondays and Wednesdays at 7:30 a.m. on 101.1 The Beat in Mount Pleasant and at 11 a.m. on YouTube. Card Guys, Detroit Sports Talk.
Welcome back, Card Guys, Detroit Sports Talk. Ryan Donnelly, Michael Rosenkranz, and Anthony Schulte here with you on a Wednesday. We have the Detroit Tigers. They're playing a game right after our show here, 1 o'clock. Detroit Tigers and Minnesota Twins. Spring training, that's going to be on TV too. FanDuel Sports Network. So I'm pretty sure we're getting the sweet sounds of Jason Benetti.
I hope so.
On our television set tonight today.
It's at Joker Merchant Field, so I'd imagine it'd be the Detroit broadcast today.
And I'm very excited for that. However, yesterday, blew a lead to Baltimore. The starters played very well, but 8-7 was the final. Job was the starting pitcher. He got a home run. He had a home run hit off of him, but he had a strong first inning, striking out. I think Adley Rutschman is who he struck out. But these spring training games don't really mean anything. But wins are wins, and losing 8-7 is not ideal, especially when you had a lead. But Kerry Carpenter 3 for 3, Riley Green 2 for 2 with a walk and a home run, Ben Malgary 2 for 3 with a home run, 3 RBIs. So. Good, solid overall performance from the plate for sure from the Tigers.
Yeah, I mean, I think if we take out the minor league guys, I think everybody played well. Obviously, we blew the lead because we took the starters out, and that's kind of expected in spring training.
Yeah.
But, unfortunate loss. I mean, it doesn't really matter anyways. Yeah.
You got the Twins today.
We got the Twin. Nothing. We couldn't even watch. But also shout out Evan Pretzel because he put out videos.
He did
on his Twitter. I'm sorry, his X account.
LeBron mean.
But yeah, he did put out videos on his X account, so I got to watch some of that. Maybe not during class. Just kidding. After class, I watched. But yeah, shout out Evan Pretzel. Now I can rely on him, hopefully, for the rest of spring training to get the fans' videos for what happened. Because he had a video of the Kerry Carpenters, of all of his hits. He had a video of Riley Green's home run. He had, excuse me, he had a video of Ben. What's his name?
Belgary.
Ben Belgary. He had a video of his home run too. So, shout out Evan Pretzel. He's been the trooper for spring training. He's obviously down there in the Grapefruit League. So, shout out him. He'll have the videos for y'all if y'all are curious on what's going on. And obviously, we'll have occasional broadcasts during spring break, including today, which I'm very excited. I will be watching a majority of it because I'll have all my homework done by then. So, yeah, I mean, unfortunate loss, but this kind of happens when you have all your minor league guys coming out. Just proves that Baltimore has a A-plus farm system.
Yeah, they do.
They have a really good farm system, so I kind of proved it last night. Our farm system's good. Still top 10 in baseball, but I think Baltimore's by far has one of the best farm systems, top 3 in baseball.
And their starters are absolute units at the game.
Rutschman,
Heston Kjerstad, Adley Rutschman,
Ryan Mountcastle, Colby Mayo, Adley Rutschman.
So many guys.
Jackson Holiday. Like, they have that Cedric Mullins. They have some heavy hitters in Baltimore.
Yeah, they just have such a well-rounded team.
But the only thing that they don't have is an ace. They lost their ace to Arizona, Corbin Burns, who is their big-ticket J13 item.
Yes.
Little callback to Season 3, Episode 2. But yeah, Corbin Burns.
The name, you know the episode of that, too?
What a time, dude.
But yeah, they lost Corbin Burns to free agency, so they lost an ace, and they don't really have any pitching depth. That's what kind of killed them last year. Corbin Burns had to carry, and their pitching staff is really crap. And now they lost Corbin Burns, and their pitching staff is still awful. So their offense is still really good. I mean, they also lost Anthony Santander to free agency to Toronto. But still, their offense is still heavy hitting. They still got a really good farm system. Their pitching is really, really bad, however. So hopefully they could turn it around in the regular season. I like Baltimore a lot. But anyways, when it comes to the Tigers, I think starters did really good. Minor league just kind of blew it.
Yeah. Michael?
It's a loss, but they were productive. I mean, 7 runs on 12 hits is still really, really solid in spring training. And again, these spring training games don't really matter, but it's a chance for these young guys to develop and try and prove themselves to try and get a roster spot on the active roster come regular season. So, got one today against the Twins. This will be a good chance to redeem yourself, and this will be a good chance to see what this Twins team is like. They're probably not going to run all of their starters, but if they run a few, you'll get to see how they play, how their systems are looking so far for this upcoming season, because I would imagine that the Twins, Tigers, and the Guardians would probably be in close contention. You can even throw the Royals in there.
The Royals, I think, are going to win the division.
Royals are looking very solid.
I think it goes Royals, Tigers, season. Guardians, Twins.
So
and the White Sox are in hell.
Yeah.
Exactly. White Sox are not in a good spot. And, yeah, just try and hopefully you can bounce back from this. One of the toughest things to do in sports is hit a baseball.
Yeah.
And it's a very hard sport, but it'll be good to see if the guys can bounce back from this, because a loss like this will humble a team. It motivates them to get better. And speaking of motivating to get better, Jackson Jobe, his self-assessment, you like to see that from a young guy. I went from an 0-2 count to walking a guy. That can't happen. A.J. Hinch loved that when he said that about him. He knows that he has to hold himself accountable, but the good news is he's so young and he has so much time to develop. Mm-hmm. He has a long way to go in his career.
He's, I think, 21 or 22 years old.
Right
so
around there.
Plenty of time to develop.
Plenty of time.
All right, well, so the Tigers, they play today, 1 o'clock, FanDuel Sports Network. It will be a fun one. I'm excited to finally watch this team and finally get our own broadcast and not just a simulcast of the Yankees. That was not a fun watch, listen to those guys. But all right, WWE Elimination Chamber. That is on Saturday. And here is the complete card for Saturday night. The men's Elimination Chamber. You got John Cena, can't see me, CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, Logan Paul, Damian Priest, and Seth Rollins. I think there's going to be some interference here between Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins.
I disagree. I think Seth Rollins he has a case to be a dark horse in this match.
I
After
think
their promo, I watched that promo, by the way. After that promo on Monday, I think that I have a slight suspicion in my gut that's telling me that Seth Rollins is winning the Elimination
I think
Chamber.
because they might be trying to set up Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, right? So the best way to set that up is to have Roman Reigns come out in the Elimination Chamber and screw over Seth Rollins. I feel like that would be one of the best ways to have an interference with this match. Who do you guys think is going to win that? I think John Cena's
going to win.
I would think Cena.
They're advertising him a lot for this.
Hear me out. I was fantasy booking WrestleMania in my head the other day, and I want you guys to think about this. So I think Cena's going to win the Chamber. Mm-hmm. It'll be advertised for Cena versus Cody, passing of the torch for the next big baby face of the WWE. Paul Heyman comes into play, tells Cody that his favor from CM Punk is to main event WrestleMania. So CM Punk will now be thrown into the mix for the main event of WrestleMania. So it's going to be a triple threat: CM Punk, John Cena, Cody Rhodes, or as Santino Morel calls it, Kobe Rhodes. Anyways, but The Rock is now into play because he wants Cody's soul. And we'll talk about it.
Yeah, I was going to get to that.
We'll bring it up later in the program, but The Rock wants an answer from Cody.
Yeah.
I think Cody's going to say no.
Obviously, he's going to say
The Rock is going to beat his little behind. Mm-hmm. And I feel like a few weeks before WrestleMania, Cody's going to call him out, and he's going to want him at WrestleMania. So it's going to be a fatal four-way main event WrestleMania match between John Cena, CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, and The Rock. And there's lots of moving pieces to this. It renews the rivalry of John Cena and The Rock.
Yeah.
At SummerSlam, right?
WrestleMania twice.
Yeah, WrestleMania.
It reignites a feud between CM Punk and John Cena. If Cody Rhodes pins John Cena, it's a nice little passing of the torch. All these storylines with Punk main eventing WrestleMania, John Cena's final match, and The Rock just beating the absolute crap out of Cody Rhodes. So there's lots of moving pieces to this fatal four-way, which makes the most sense in my mind. So I think it all starts with John Cena winning the Elimination Chamber.
I think Cena's going to win. Michael, who do you think is going to win this Chamber match here?
I would imagine Cena's going to win. I mean, if anything, Roman Reigns coming out to interfering with Seth Rollins is a big possibility. Mm-hmm. I think it's going to happen, but one thing that I don't want is I just can't stand to see Logan Paul on there.
And Logan Paul's got a chance to win.
He's got a chance. He's I hate to say this, but he's a heck of a wrestler.
He's good at wrestling.
He's really good. So it's going to be close.
Yeah.
But I think we can see a surprise appearance of like Roman Reigns or something coming to interfere with Seth Rollins.
Yeah, no, I agree. All right. So we have the Women's Elimination Chamber. Liv Morgan, Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss, Bayley, Naomi, and Roxanne Perez. Glow. That's for Naomi. I think Jade Cargill comes out. That story is definitely getting enhanced during this because, as you just saw on Monday Night Raw, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez just took the titles off of Bianca Belair and Naomi for the tag titles. So I think that was a way to kind of push forward the Jade Cargill story. And I could see her coming out during this Chamber match. and kind of advancing that story, or we see Bianca and Naomi kind of turn on each other in the chamber. Somehow, some way, that story is going to get pushed, in my opinion.
I think Bianca's going to win it.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Because they don't want to put Liv Morgan while she already has the tag titles in a feud with just keeping this boring feud with Rhea Ripley. There's no way they're going to continue that feud. I think Bianca Belair is going to win the Elimination Chamber because they took the tag titles off of her. So now she's going to go for something bigger, which is against Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania. And they're going to throw Io Sky in the mix, too. Mm-hmm. So I think it's going to be a triple threat.
Well, remember, Rhea Ripley has that match on Monday Night Raw against Io Sky.
And she's going to lose, and then Io wants it more. So I feel like it's going to be Io Sky, Bianca Belair, and Rhea Ripley for the women's whatever title it is.
The Women's World Championship?
Yeah, there's two, and I can't tell the difference.
There's the Women's WWE Champion, and then there's the Women's World Champion.
Oh.
Pretty sure. All right, so that's the Women's Elimination Chamber. And then, as you mentioned, Cody Rhodes addresses The Rock's offer. The Rock said he wants his soul. He wants Cody to be his corporate champion. He wants Cody to fight for him. Kind of like a Seth Rollins type of thing with the Authority. Mm-hmm. And Seth Rollins, in that promo that you mentioned, he discussed, his regrets, with his past. And he's telling Cody Rhodes, don't do it. Don't do what I did because I regret it. So I don't know if he accepts. I don't see a world where he accepts. But if he does, what happens?
If
Corporate
he accepts, I think The Rock is going to destroy him. But stranger things have happened. Cody Rhodes has been on a tear in terms of the storyline that's been forming around him.
Yeah.
But it's a world few and far between where he accepts an offer to face The Rock.
Well, the offer is for the Rock for Cody to be The Rock's corporate champion, and to fight for The Rock, basically.
Right.
If I'm understanding that correctly,
So I wouldn't think Cody Rhodes would accept. And if I may, really quickly, for the Women's Elimination Chamber, my mind is going towards Alexa Bliss.
I was looking at her name.
Because with that return with the Royal Rumble, that could set something off that people aren't expecting, and she wants to come back in a big way.
I know I could see a world where Alexa Bliss wins.
I can't. I don't. Her storyline is so weird right now.
Well, she doesn't really have a storyline right now.
Well, yeah.
Other than the fact that she returned at the Women's Royal Rumble.
Just because you return doesn't mean you're automatically put in the main event picture. Look at Penta.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, Penta didn't return.
Penta is one of the best wrestlers on the planet, and he's in a feud with
Pete
Dunne and Ludwig Kaiser. So I think Alexa Bliss's storyline for WrestleMania could lead towards Nia Jax.
I think she has. Honestly, out of all those names, I don't see Roxanne Perez. Roxanne Perez and Bayley are going to have a match at WrestleMania.
Oh, yeah.
So Roxanne Perez and Bayley are out the window. Liv Morgan is a tag title, and they don't want to. I'm pretty sure they're not going to want to put her with Rhea Ripley again. So take out Liv Morgan. That leaves Bianca, Naomi, and Alexa Bliss. So Alexa Bliss does have a chance when you look at it that way. Mm. I feel like there is a world where she does win. Is it likely? No. Is there a world? Yes.
It's going to come down to Bianca and Naomi, and then that's when Jade's going to come back in. That's what I think.
Most likely. All right, and then we have what's going to be the best match of the night. The unsanctioned Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn match. That's going to be the best match of the night, easily. There's going to be a lot of carnage, a lot of destruction, probably a lot of blood.
Probably.
It's going to be a hell of a match between these two. Kevin Owens was at Sami Zayn's house. Mm-hmm. So,
they are friends in real life, so Kevin's like, I'm going to go film a promo outside your house.
Yeah, they are friends in real life.
We know it's fake, folks.
It's not fake.
It's fake.
It's predetermined.
It's fake.
If you accept it as a reality TV show where people beat each other up, then it's fine.
Well, they could beat each other up, and then they'll just go to the bar and...
It's just entertainment. That's all it is. It's just entertainment. But Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, that's going to be a very fun match. Who do y'all think? I think. Ooh, who do you guys think is going to win this?
Kevin Owens.
I think KO.
Kevin Owens is like the most blood-boiled man in WWE.
He needs to get a win under his belt too.
He lost all of his friends.
Yeah,
because they all basically turned on Kevin in his eyes.
And it sucks to say Kevin Owens after that has nothing to lose. Shout out Big Show. I have nothing to lose. So I think Kevin Owens is going to get the victory here over Sami Zayn, but it is going to be a battle to the end.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Kevin really has nothing to lose.
He doesn't have anything to lose.
He lost Cody. He lost Randy. He lost Sammy.
Especially after that Rumble match, I feel like he's gonna...
yeah. He's got nothing to lose.
He lost everybody. So I think Kevin Owens is going to come guns a-blazing. That's the word I'm thinking of. Guns a-blazing. I think Kevin Owens is going to kill.
Especially because of Sammy's neck.
Yep.
From that package pile driver.
Sammy's neck, in WWE terms, is broken, but in real life, he's fine.
Yeah, so... I think Kevin Owens is going to win as well, but Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, unsanctioned match.
What if Randy Orton returns?
He will return during this, in my opinion. I thought he was going to return at the Rumble, or during Cody and Kevin, but he didn't. I think he's going to return here. It just makes the most sense. It sets up KO hold on, Randy Orton comes out, helps Sammy win. That sets up KO and Randy for WrestleMania. That also could happen.
That could also happen.
I feel like that's very likely
there's a lot of possibilities.
There's a lot of possibilities. All right, real quickly, the final match on the card. It's Tiffy and Trishy time.
It's Trishy time.
Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus against Nia Jax and Candice LeRae. This could be a fun match. Tiffany and Trish are basically two peas in the same pod. Yeah. They are the same person from different eras of WWE. So it's going to be cool to see them team up. I'm surprised they're teaming up after Money in the Bank when Tiffy was going against Trish, not in a match, but backstage. She had a promo and she disrespected Trish. So I thought it was going to be a match between Tiffy and Trish, but no. It's Tiffy time and Trishy time against Nia Jax and Candice LeRae.
First of all, before I say my prediction, I'm very glad that Candice LeRae is getting the respect that she deserves. She's one of the most, if not the most, underrated women's wrestler on the planet right now. The Gargano family is so underrated. Johnny and Candice are amazing wrestlers. Candice LeRae is also really good. Indie legend, by the way. And I'm glad that she's getting a big match on one of the biggest PLEs of the year. Mm-hmm. So congratulations to Candice LeRae. I'm happy that she's getting a push now that Indy Hartwell is gone.
Yeah.
Anyways, I grew up watching Trish Stratus, so I have a soft spot in my heart for Trish Stratus, and Tiffany Stratton has practically the same moveset as her. Yeah. So I'm rooting for Trishy time, and I think Trishy time is going to win.
Trishy time is going to win, in my opinion.
I would think so, just because isn't she a Hall of Famer as well?
Yes. Trish
Stratus, yeah. I mean, she's got that for her. She's been in the game long enough, and I think it's going to be close. But then again, I think it's just going to come down to who's going to outlast each other and who's going to get the better of each other. I think that's Trish Stratus.
I mean, I just don't see a world where Nia Jax and Candice LeRae win. I
don't think so.
Tiffany hasn't gotten a clean win against either of those two in almost a month. All of her wins, she's gotten the win and then she's gotten beat up.
That drought's got to break, right?
Yeah. So I feel like
it's probably going to be Tiff and Trish. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Tiffy and Trishy time.
It's Trishy time.
Yeah, it's Trishy time. Mm-hmm. They're going to win that match. So that's the Elimination Chamber card. It's good. That's gonna be a fun night. Elimination Chamber and Pistons
have
in
fun
one
watching
night.
That.
I will have fun watching that.
I won't be watching.
I'm so sorry. All right, that's all we have for today's show. Little rough show for me personally, but I'm getting through it, so I apologize if my performance was lackluster today. Okay. That's all we have for today's show. Thank you for tuning in to Card Guys, Season 4, Episode 13, on 101.1 The Beat and YouTube. Tune in Monday for more Detroit sports discussion. For my good buddies, Ryan Donnelly and Michael Rosenkranz, I'm Anthony Schulte saying, so long, everybody.
Love you, Mom and Dad. I will see you on Friday for Sibs and Kids Weekend.
Happy belated birthday to Grandma. I forgot to give her a happy birthday shout out on Monday's show. So today she gets her happy birthday shout out.
Happy birthday,
Grandma Girardi.
Grandma Girardi. Happy birthday, Grandma
Happy
Girardi.
birthday, Grandma Girardi.
And Mom and Dad, I will see you on Friday for Sibs and Kids Weekend.
If you smell